Oh. Greetings, Insomniacs. You're not dreaming. Mr. Lobo is under the weather. I hope wherever you are, you're doing better than Mr. Lobo. But I felt that it would be a great disservice to you if we did not try and do our weekly update anyway, even though, this is what being a professional is, right? Even when you're not feeling well, even when your chest is congested, even when you literally have mucus coming out of the 9 doors of your body, you still drag yourself into the studio to do your, whatever this is. Okay, Miss Mittens doesn't want to get it. It's the con crud. I did take a test. It is not chronic D, as we like to call it. So I'm positive I'm negative, or negative that I'm something. I'm positively negative, or yes, because it's good to be negative, bad to be positive. We'll figure this. I'm too sick to figure this out. I'm gonna take another sip of tea here. You can get a mug just like this. OSI74.square.site. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag sponsored. Okay. Excuse me for a second. All right. So let me give you some ideas. We're still in Lobotober, so we're doing double features all week long. We just got back from, yes, all month long, Aaron. That's right. See, Aaron's here to keep me on track. Double features all month long. Of course, last week we did the Bob Wilkins special and the Haunted House special last Saturday. And Mr. Lobo was not there live with you on the Twitch chat because, well, I actually did drop in on the chat, but I was not here live in the studio because it was Monster Fest weekend in Chesapeake, Virginia at the Chesapeake Central Library. This is like the best homegrown convention that Mr. Lobo has ever attended, at least in a long time. This reminds me of the great shows we used to do back in the 70s and 80s. It just has got that great hometown convention feel. But it isn't a library, it's a free show, so you get to see the whole community, not just people who've, got a little deeper pockets. You get to see everybody, all families, little kids, older people, people with 2 heads, people with skeletal people, people with dinosaur limbs and tails.
You're more devoted Cinema Insomnia fans than we encounter most cons.
Yes, absolutely. We were lucky enough to be on the air in that region. We were on Channel 71, Cox 71, in Norfolk area in Virginia, and we made a lot of good friends in that time period when we were on the air. And I also worked on several projects in Virginia, including Virginia Creepers and Hi There Horror Movie Fans, 2 documentaries about Virginia horror hosts, the second one about Bowman Body. And we also, with Bowman Body, who's a Richmond, Virginia horror host, we actually recreated 2 episodes of Shock Theater that we filmed with Bowman Body. And I got to be a player in the skits and narrate those. And we made Mark of the Damned with Eric Miller and who created Midnight Frights. We worked on Mark of the Damned with those folks. We did the Mark of the Damned Cinema Insomnia episode, which we shot there in Virginia. So we have a lot of fans down there. And of course I did that Rocky Horror show not too long ago at the Narrow Theater, where I was brought down there to portray the criminologist. And for Halloween this year, since Mr. Lobo will be probably 11th hour putting together our Halloween special and a few other things, John Dimes is going to be the criminologist. Horror host Dr. Sarcophagi to you will be playing the criminologist at the Narrow Theater for Rocky Horror Picture Show. You should follow Creatures of the Narrow on Facebook and get the details on that if you're in the Norfolk area. We're having anyway, we had an amazing time. Speaking of John Dimes was there. If you don't know John Dimes, your life is lacking because he's very charming. And he and Rick were there, and they were wonderful. And Sally the Zombie Cheerleader came down with us, which was great. And we got to hang out with the folks from the Dr. Mad Blood show, Craig T. Adams and Deborah. They have a group called Stuffing Puppets, where they did the puppets and characters on the Dr. Mad Blood show. And Craig was Brain on the Dr. Mad Blood show, and Felonious Mad Blood, Uncle Felonious. And Jerry Harrell, Dr. Mad Blood himself, was there as a wonderful treat. And we had, let's see here. Oh, and we have, of course, Bobby the Monster of the Monster Movie Night was there. And there were some up-and-coming horror hosts that we met, too. Princeton Weiss, I think, was a horror host that we met there. And there was a few others, you know. There's a lot of people who are looking at, I guess they're hero horror hosts and just horror hosting in general and saying, you know, I'd like to try that. I'd like to do that. And there are a lot of people who are in their own way doing this sort of thing. We're hosting a movie. So Monster Fest is over. Thank you, Rob and Phyllis, the organizers, for putting on such an amazing show. We had such a wonderful time. We met so many wonderful people, met so many new friends. You know, it was a great, great time. And the panel, the horror host panel was great. Aaron captured that on video, so hopefully we'll be able to recreate it. Yeah. Boy, we had the most amount of technical difficulties during that. It's funny where you get a bunch of video professionals together and you can't get one video to play. Speaking of fests, October 13th is our Ed Wood Fest. Please, 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 if you are near Lancaster area, if you're near the Philly area, if you're in the eastern part of Pennsylvania, why not come see us at OSI Studios? We're located at 3375 East Lincoln Highway, where the Antique Mall, the Cackleberry Farm Antique Mall, is located. And we do a pop-up drive-in the parking lot. We have an open house to where you can come in the studio and see where we make the show. We have a photo opportunity for you to engage in. We have our merchandise for sale and a whole lot of fun. It's really just a party for Insomniacs. So if you want to come out for the Ed Wood Fest, it is a Thursday, October 13th, right after Woodmas, right after the birth of Ed Wood. And you can get your tickets now. It's $7 in advance. You can't get a cheaper movie than that. And there's a costume contest. Come in your best Ed Wood inspired costume. Oh, something really important. We have a brand new episode somehow. We shot a whole nother brand new cinema and still tingling from Peking Kong, which we will be mailing out soon as our Blu-rays are completed. Still tingling from the success of Peking Kong, and we did a RetroCon, and you know, this is my 9th or 10th year doing RetroCon, and I thought, boy, it would be something. Wouldn't it be great to finally do a RetroCon episode? We didn't have a panel this year. Our presence was slightly diminished, so it's like, you know, we have a little freedom. You know, let's be among the people and really try to do some cover the wonderfulness that is RetroCon. So we did a lot of celebrity interviews. We got to play with the time machine while we were there. We got to piss off some Dinobots while we were there. We're presenting to you a retro movie called Return of the Dinosaurs.
Have to play around with Optimus Prime.
Oh, Optimus Prime, which no amount of explaining, you'll have to watch the episode to understand what we mean by Optimus Prime. But man, oh man, if you love Ninja Turtles or Star Wars or Transformers or Back to the Future, or we've got you covered with RetroCon. It's a great episode. Celebrity interviews abound, a storyline even, and 22 raps. We did not skimp on the raps. There's 22 raps. A lot of wonderful people. We got Amanda Gabrielle. Is that how she goes? Is that how she?
I know she does on Facebook.
Okay.
I know she goes by her real name on Twitter, so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Amanda, a friend of the show, who was Daphne, right? Wasn't? No, she was Velma in the Blobfest episode. Velma in the Blobfest episode.
She's already credited there as Amanda Sorrento, so.
Okay.
She's been on the show before.
Okay, so she's been on the show before, but she was our Real 7 girl as Mary Jane Watson, Spider-Man's girlfriend. And
Blobfest was there.
yes, Stephanie Vogel, Miss Blobfest 2022, who I did not meet. I had not met her. I'm not well enough to have this conversation about Blobfest. Suffice to say, I was not asked to host Blobfest this year, but I did not get to meet Miss Blobfest. So
Sort of got to induct her in this episode.
I did, in my own sloppy, tired, overtasked way. I did get to induct her into the Miss Blobfest. You know, Dixie was the first Miss Blobfest. We kind of.
She was the first couple, wasn't she?
Yeah. It initially was kind of a bit.
Yeah.
And we.
Anytime someone was a dancer, she just killed them.
Yeah, Dixie would just kill whoever was Miss Blobfest, and then we thought that bit was funny, and then at a certain point they're like, we should do this for real. And I think in doing it as a bit, I think they were trying to warm up the audience to the idea of there being a Miss Blobfest. But it seemed important that whoever we brought in would be someone who could play with us, who could have fun, who got the humor and the camp and the whole aspects of Blobfest, the silliness of Blobfest. And man, did we bring a wonderful group of ladies into the fold over the years with, gee whiz, one after another. I mean, sure, Suzanne Ferner, Alex Dahl, Melissa Tapley, Valerie Weird Spooky, as I like to call her, Roxanne, and I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. But yeah, a lot of lovely, funny, delightful, charming folks that we've got to do some wonderful stage antics with. If you want to be a Blu-ray backer, be an associate producer, get your name in the Internet Movie Database. It is $65 plus postage because we will send you an autographed Blu-ray of the show before anybody else, and a DVD as an extra bonus, in case you don't have a Blu-ray player somehow. Or you've got a friend who you'd like to turn on to the show. Or a coaster. Just someone put their drink right on top of it. That was great. They took a picture of them using the DVD as a coaster. Beautiful. This weekend in the Twitch chat, please join us for another double feature, 2 Halloween episodes. We're going to be showing, this is in the theme of Monster Fest, Mark of the Damned, Part 1 and Part 2. Mark of the Damned was shot in Virginia. Eric Miller, who created Midnight Frights, made this film, and he, from the very beginning, while they were making it, he wanted it to be shown on Cinema Insomnia. And I have a small part in it as Professor Phantasmarac, which only exists as a photograph. So a character, a non-speaking, non-moving role in Mark of the Damned. I just mailed them a photo of myself. But I'm a character that's very important. But I also get to interview the entire cast and crew. And we made a really nice part 1 with the first part of Mark of the Damned, and then we did a part 2 episode where it's a Halloween special proper, where we show part 2 Mark of the Damned, and it has a little bit of the making of Mark of the Damned, but it's more just Halloween antics. So, but between the two of those, man, that movie's got everything. It's got monsters, it's got rocket pack guys, it's got Mexican wrestlers, it's got vampire women, lots of stuff, lots of fun things all mixed together, and it's black and white, glorious black and white. So, Mark the Damned Part 1 and 2, that's this weekend, and I should be here in the studio, right? Unless
you're so under the weather that you can't.
So under the weather that I can't be. And you know, this is a good time to say, you know, if you're not feeling well, if you can't be with us live in the chat to watch these with us, you don't have to chat. You can just have it on and just kind of have that company on in the room with you, you know? Maybe, and really not just that time. I mean, we're on our YouTube channel. I think the Mark of the Damned ones are on there, right? So you can have watch part 1 and part 2 at your leisure. We have a whole double feature version, which is like, what, 6 hours or something?
Something like that.
Excuse me. All right, well, Mr. Lobo's obviously overdone it. I'm gonna call it right now. I know, Miss Mittens, you knew this was gonna happen. Pushed myself a little too hard. But just a reminder, OSI 74 on Roku, Cinema Insomnia. YouTube, Cinema Insomnia. OSI74.com. Lots of great programming there. The Twitch channel, OSI74 TV. Lots of great programming there. And of course, the Cinema Insomnia Twitch channel, in which we do all our live cut-ins from. All right, so you can watch part 1, part 2, or the double feature of the Damned, or there's the weird alpha version where it's all collapsed into one episode.
Yeah, it's only like 3 hours.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to watch this same movie on Cinema Insomnia, but it's one of our favorites, and Eric's one of our favorite people. He was great. If you like Eric Miller, check out Midnight Frights. Also, the Clean House special Eric Miller is in as well, with what's that movie that the Clean House special is?
Oh, Red House.
Red House. All right, well, I hope we're all feeling better by Saturday, but if not, it's too bad, right?
All systems go to bed.
Yeah, all systems go to bed. All right, I agree. I'm getting back under the covers. Sorry, y'all. All right, well, good night. Oh, and I want everyone to do this year with the green lights in their jack-o'-lanterns. I think this looks great, don't you? All right. And then what? Halloween special, 29th. Brand new Halloween special, 29th, if it kills us. All right. Good night, everybody.